Welcome to Sports News, and it's great news as Cameroon will face Egypt in the 2017 Africa Cup of Nations final after defeating Ghana 2-0 in a keenly contested encounter in Franceville. Goals from Michael Ngajui and Christian Basogo gave the Indomitable Lions victory over the Black Stars. Despite being written off from the start of the tournament, four-time African champions continue to prove bookmakers wrong, that is, with each passing game. Ghana, who have still never beaten Cameroon at the competition, will now go to Port-Gentil for a third-place playoff against Burkina Faso on Saturday. And Nigeria Professional Football League champions Rangers International have been fined 2.75 million naira for the unruly conduct of their supporters. Now, fans of the Flying Antelopes were alleged to have hurled missiles at match officials after their match day one encounter against Abia Warriors in Enugu. The disciplinary committee of the Nigeria Football Federation ruled that the club will pay 750,000 naira for breach of security, 1 million naira for pitch encroachment, 500,000 naira for attempted assault on the referees, and another 500,000 naira as compensation for injuries meted to the match commissioner as well as a security agent. The committee warned of further sanctions should there be a recurrence. Former Nigeria international Badwin Bazoye will replace Bala Nikiu as the head of Nigeria's Professional Football League outfit, Katsina United. The new promoted club announced that it has parted ways with the former Flamingo boss by mutual consent. Nikiu, who only took over as coach at the start of the current season, said he needed to attend to personal issues. Katsina United is currently placed 9th on the table and will travel to Lokoja to face Niger Tornadoes this weekend. And the Nigerian Rowing, Canoeing and Sailing Federation believes the only way to develop the sport is taking it to the grassroots. The federation, which just concluded its open trials for the African Sprint Championship, wants more competitions to keep its athletes busy. 12 rowers will represent Nigeria at the event scheduled for Morocco in March.
It is a highly technical sport because it is the athletes, the boat equipment and the water. So you need a lot of skill to be able to do the sport, and that's why we're programming camp and competition for the 6 geopolitical zones. So we're making frantic efforts to get the sport to the grassroots. We're encouraging states to buy boats, to have makeshift canoes where they can get to attract more people from, especially from the riverine communities, to get engaged in our sports. For our target mostly is in the riverine communities where we have children who are in schools and cannot really play football because all you have around them is just water and water, but they can get to do our sports more easily. And so this is our target area really.
An app has been launched to help fans follow participants at this year's edition of the Okpekpe International Road Race, May 31st in Edo State. The Information Technology and Social Media Coordinator for the race, Diron Mabo, revealed that the tracking app is the first to be launched for road racing in Nigeria. The 10-kilometer road race is the first in Nigeria, with full membership granted by the Association of International Marathons and Distance Races. It is also recognized as one of the prestigious road races in the world and the only one with an IAAF label status in West Africa. And that's Sports News tonight. Many thanks for watching. I'm Millicent Mwokais. Back to Marathi for the rest of the news.
A veteran opposition leader of the Democratic Republic of Congo, Etienne Tshisekedi, has died at a hospital in Brussels. He was aged 84. Tshisekedi stood up to Mobutu Sese Seko, who ruled the country, then known as Zaire, for more than 3 decades before Mobutu was overthrown by Rwanda, Uganda and other forces. He was also the main civilian opponent of Laurent Kabila, who took power in 1997, and his son, President Joseph Kabila, who ruled since 2001. As such, he was a pivotal figure in Congo, whose history has been marked by foreign intervention, civil war, coups and authoritarian rule. His stalwart activism meant he could draw huge crowds. His death comes at another inflection point in the country's history, following Joseph Kabila's failure to step down when his constitutional mandate expired in December. The U.S. government says its raid on an al-Qaeda stronghold was very well thought out. 23 people were said to have died in the attack in a village in the Yakla district, one of whom was the 8-year-old daughter of a militant killed by a U.S. strike in 2011. The raid is the first such operation authorized by President Donald Trump. The U.S. military had previously said a Navy SEAL died and 3 others were injured in the raid in a village in Yakla district. But now the U.S. Central Command says that those killed could include children. Meanwhile, a prominent Russian opposition activist and journalist Vladimir Kara-Murza has been hospitalized with organ failure 2 years after he almost died of suspected poisoning. His wife said he suffered the same onset of symptoms as his previous illness. No cause was ever established for Mr. Kara-Murza's last illness, but tests confirmed that he had ingested a poisonous substance. Then, aged 33, he was in coma for almost a week and struggled to communicate when he regained consciousness. The crisis rocking the Ondo State House of Assembly is far from over, as the convoy of the state governor Olusegun Mimiko was today attacked by protesters. Reports say the governor was on his way to commission a project when the protesters blocked his motorcade. It took the timely intervention of the men of the State Police Command to disperse the protesters who are against the governor's move to present the 2017 budget to the Assembly. The protesters allege that the governor plans to sponsor 38 bills and ensure that the bills are passed into law before his tenure expires on February 23rd, a move they vow to resist. Our correspondent in Ondo State says no stone hurled on the governor. There was no stone hurled at the governor, as was reported in some media.